Hey there, Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Sunday, March 5th. And today we're looking at the upcoming full moon, which we are starting to be in the light of. So we're starting to see that moon coming to its fullness of illumination. And a full moon, of course, happens when the moon and the sun are opposite, so that we see the full light of the sun being reflected on the moon. Kind of magic in itself, and interesting and exciting. And then we've got the fact that this full moon is in Virgo, that we are in a Pisces moon cycle. So that means that we began this cycle with the new moon in Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual energy. It's the energy of kind of getting beyond the constraints of ordinary physical reality, right? Going beyond physical form into the realm of spirit, into the realm of the intangible. And so as we think about the intangible, we can think about things that are hard to put into words, things that are not concrete, ways that we have dreams, things we dream about, imagination. So things we might imagine that are outside the constraints of ordinary reality. And of course, we also have the experience of connecting with spirit, and really the experience of connecting with vibes, feelings, right? Things that we might call energy, that are really just things that we don't have words for, right? If you think about how complex the world and our experience really is, there's not a word for everything. Every experience that we have can't be put into words. And so thinking about what that is, what are the experiences we have that are outside of or beyond words that we can use to describe them. And so that's where you bring in the experience of magic, of mystery, of transcendence, of really like this bigger picture in which we are connected with all beings. So recognizing that we are all one, we are all interconnected, and our own little experiences, challenges, trials, tribulations, whatever it is we might be going through, is really not isolated to us, or is not, we experience things as individuals, but these experiences are part of a bigger experience of humanity. So, and that itself is kind of an intangible concept, right? It's hard to talk about or put into words. So things that you notice, things that you feel, and that's where intuitive flow comes in, the ability to perceive, to feel things maybe before they have an explanation, or feeling things before they happen. That's just you tuning in with everything, right? It's the way that we are interconnected. And so we have the energy of psychic awareness, of psychic connections, of energy sensitivity. And that can mean the ability to pick up on things that are going on around us, just whether we want to pick up on them or not, right? So sometimes we can feel the suffering in the world, and it can feel overwhelming, or maybe equally we can have that ability to feel the bigger picture of love and just how huge that is. And that is what Pisces represents. And so every time we have a planet in Pisces, as the sun is currently in Pisces, it's that time of year where if you're a Pisces, your birthday is happening around now. And the energy also of Neptune. Neptune is an outer planet. It moves very slowly, and it spends several years in a sign. So we also currently happen to have Neptune in Pisces, where it has been since 2011 and will be for a couple more years now. So so that energy of Neptune in Pisces is this bigger picture of these energies, this ability to connect with, transcend transcendence, with spiritual truths, with our ability to feel and perceive things at deeper levels and to connect with the feeling of meaning in our hearts. And that is what this particular moon cycle is highlighting. But we also have this background energy of Neptune in Pisces. I have talked about Neptune in Pisces before, because it is such a significant energy in terms of our current events and what's going on. I think that one of the things that can happen with Pisces energy and the planet Neptune, which is god of the sea, right? It's the great ocean of being, and you put it in this sign of transcendent oneness. It becomes very vast and intangible. It's like the water you're swimming in, and it's hard to put your finger on it. So if we can think about this energy of where we currently have this placement of Neptune in Pisces, and thinking about how that can impact our experience of reality, there is a tendency to lose touch with the things that keep us grounded on the earth. So if you think about life and the various ways that it has structures, rules that we follow, systems we work within, ways of operating. So if you think sort of metaphorically about the guide rails and the signposts that show up in our lives to tell us which way to go, how it all works, and here's the beaten path where you should stay, right? And now you put Neptune into Pisces, and what happens is it's like a giant fog coming down and obscuring the signposts. The guardrails have disappeared, right? They've evaporated. And so everything kind of dissolves into this cloud of oneness. So we can lose touch with where is the path? How do we stay grounded? Which is the way forward? What are the rules? How are we supposed to operate? And that is happening again in this bigger picture of our current events. We also have, this tendency to lose ourselves or our way, and experience confusion, experience delusions or delusional thinking, illusions, wanting to believe in something, whether it's real or not. It's sort of not having a clear way of discerning what is tangible, what is real, what we should listen to, what's true, what's right, how reality even works. And this is getting really esoteric, but if you think about it, reality is we think of it as like this objective thing that just exists and we just exist within it, but in so many ways, really, reality is actually a construct. And so it is through our group agreements that we have about how we're going to operate that we even know what reality is. So we have philosophies that we kind of collectively agree to operate under. Sometimes we disagree about those, certainly, but in general, we have ways of being human that kind of work for us, in this time and place that we agree we're gonna do. We all have a cell phone. Most people have a cell phone, right? That's kind of an agreed way of operating right now. It's not necessary. We haven't always lived with cell phones. We may not have them in the future. We don't know, but that's kind of the soup that we're swimming in right now. Our reality right now is that we use cell phones for all kinds of things. So if you think about reality as being less of a given and more of a kind of a like, well, it's whatever we decide it is, right? So that's more of what is that door is more open during this period of Neptune in Pisces, and the ability to sort of get lost by going off in different directions, or we're not really sure what we agree on or how we're going to do this together. And we can have different beliefs, different belief systems that can take us in different directions. We can experience illusions or delusional thinking, or losing ourselves in addictive processes, something that makes us feel good that we want to adhere to. And then we might realize, oh, there actually is maybe that's not the best approach for me, or the best way to live for me. So that's all going on. And we have this moon cycle. So I went off on a tangent there, but it's all relevant. We have this moon cycle that starts in Pisces, highlighting, some of the themes of what we're going through in the bigger picture with Neptune in Pisces. And what it's asking us during this moon cycle is to look at, what is it that we are allowing ourselves to be guided by? So, is it something spiritual that speaks to us, speaks to some part of us, and is whatever way that is speaking to us something that we want to continue with? Is it something that's working for us? What are, if we can't see, or we're temporarily deluded from our normal guide rails and signposts, what does it mean to kind of think bigger picture, to ask ourselves what we want, what gives our lives meaning, what feels important, what again, feels like that bigger truth. So if that bigger truth is forgiveness, if it is love, if it is being in trusting the flow of the universe, those are the kinds of things that we can be getting in touch with, working with, kind of sorting out, how does that apply to me, how does it work in my life, and then maybe some of the ways of noticing how we can be present to a bigger picture of love, or a bigger picture of meaning, and connecting with what our hearts truly want as we go through this process of deconstructing, right? Letting it dissolve, letting old forms dissolve, and then recognizing, okay, here's the infusion of what my bigger spiritual purpose might feel like, how I want to connect with my higher truth, my higher self, my higher power, whatever that may be for you. And then just keeping yourself grounded. We've talked about grounding and boundaries and different ways of staying, belonging here on the earth plane, because ultimately we can't just dissolve into transcendent oneness. Well, maybe that's what happens when we die, but at any rate, when we're here in this life, we're here to interact with the physical world. We're here to solve everyday problems like paying our bills and getting along with our neighbors. And so this moon cycle is kind of helping us to shift into more aligned, more truthful, higher purpose ways of seeing ourselves, and seeing ourselves in the context of our lives, and how we are making choices in those lives, and how we can be aligned with a bigger picture that is truly important and gives our lives meaning. So now that's all background context. Thank you for hanging in here with me as we head into this Virgo full moon. So what is a full moon? A full moon is a culmination. It is a kind of reveal. So if you think of the light right on the moon, as the moon phases, goes through its phases, and it waxes, it gets bigger, right, from crescent all the way to full, and we go through this building process. And when the moon is full, it is fully illuminated, the light is fully revealed, and energetically something is being revealed to you about how to actualize or manifest or bring positive qualities into your life. So when the new moon is in Pisces and we're focused on these spiritual themes, spiritual principles, guidance and wisdom, then when the moon is full, it's in Virgo, or this month it is in Virgo, and Virgo is an earth sign. It is the opposite of Pisces. It is bringing in the energy of the tangible, of physical things, of how we interact and engage with the world, how we get hands on, how we craft, how we create, how we see things come into being. And so if you're a potter and you're taking that lump of clay and you're shaping it into something useful, something practical, and something beautiful all at the same time, you are working with the energy of the physical world. You are creating form. And that is the ultimate purpose of Virgo, is to take this bigger picture of spiritual energy, of the bigger picture of love and wisdom and guidance and why we're here, and bring that into our everyday physical world through the objects we use and the beauty we appreciate and the food we eat and the way that we help things grow and the way that we create and organize our space. And so Virgo gets this bad rap for being nitpicky or hypercritical, because Virgo is attuned to the physicality. It's attuned to noticing where something needs improvement or correction or where it's not perfect. And so Virgo energy has that ability to see, here is how this could be better. Here's how we can make this more useful, more beautiful, more practical, more something that really honors the bigger picture of the divine and the bigger picture of unconditional love. Ultimately, that's what it's doing, is bringing that bigger picture into something we can hold and see and taste and touch and use, and that can be a tool for us in our daily lives, the way that a pottery creation could be a tool, right? It could be a bowl, it could be a mug, it could be something that we use for our meals, to support our nutrition, and also to make us happy. So that's true of, at a really basic level. It's true of the useful objects that are part of our everyday lives, like pottery, like beautiful dishes, crafts that help us to do the functions that we do in our daily lives. But also that has evolved into things like technology, things like our computers, our cell phones, whatever are those useful physical devices that help us in our daily lives. Electricity and the lighting that we have, all the things that we have that bring functionality into our lives fit into that realm of Virgo. So thinking about this bigger picture that we're working on of how do we connect with, energies that feel more on the divine level, that really access and tap into mystery and intangible qualities and the flow of love and the feeling of trust in the greater flow of the universe. And then we take those and we apply it into the physical objects that we create, things we work on, things we put our hands on to make. So if you are, or someone who does a trade, like an electrician, a plumber, a contractor, a builder, someone who's working to fix those physical things and to put them into place and to build the homes that we live in, right? That's the kind of energy that Virgo brings. And the way that in an ideal world, it is a manifestation of that bigger picture of spiritual energy. And so to now. We wouldn't call it that right now, in these days and times so much, right? We would just call it well crafted, right? We would call it like somebody who cared, somebody who put the time and expense and resources into getting it right, into making something that's going to last. But those are what those qualities really are a bigger divine picture of beauty, of functionality, of lastingness, of the things that when we take the time and attention to make things and do them right, that they serve us better. And so that's what this Virgo full moon is bringing. It is bringing the energy of how we operate in the daily world. It is a reminder of how to make things tangible. So some of the noticings or awarenesses that you might have had since that new moon in Pisces 2 weeks ago, and how you're noticing in your daily life, what is that bigger picture of love? How do you connect to the flow of the universe, to your own heart, to a bigger picture of meaning, and just any of the ways that you might have noticed that the universe is supporting you, things that might be unfolding in terms of relationships in your life, and how that flow of love and understanding can continue to unfold and evolve. Themes of forgiveness, themes of understanding, themes of acceptance and surrender, all those themes coming up. And now what this full moon brings is it brings an opportunity to recognize how to implement, how to integrate, how to take some of those spiritual, intangible, mysterious themes and feelings and noticings, things that you might feel in your body, you might feel in your heart, you might notice, or just have an emotional shift around. And then this is saying, this full moon, which is revealing the illuminated light of the sun, is saying, okay, how does that show up for you? How do you put that into practice? How does it impact your ways of operating? Is it a deeper trust? Because I think there really are themes for us, especially with, we've been talking about Pluto being in the final degree of Capricorn. I did a full video on that, and Saturn being in the final degree of Aquarius. We really are working on right now themes of trust, and how we trust ourselves, and what does it look like to recognize who we've become, how we've changed, how we've grown, what we've learned, and allow that to inform us as we head into the next phase of things. Because we've already begun the month of March. This is our first full moon of March, and so we're going to start seeing the cascade of these shifts happening. They've already begun. We had a couple of conjunctions last week with Mercury and Saturn conjunct, and Venus and Jupiter conjunct, really kind of bringing, some beauty and magic in through those conjunctions. And then Mercury going into Pisces. And so that energy of Mercury in Pisces bringing communication and thinking into the realm of a bigger flow, and trusting, themes of nonverbal communication. So just kind of trusting what's showing up between the lines, and feeling that your ability to feel things more than have the words to put them into. So all of that and themes of trust is coming in through this Virgo full moon, saying, okay, how do you apply that? How do you put it into practice? What are the steps that are going to help to make this tangible? What is going to help you feel connected? you know, to tether, that's the word I'm looking for, like to tether yourself to the earth, to this place where you belong. Bring yourself in through an anchor of belonging, you know, of knowing that you belong here and that you are in that flow of love, even as you deal with your daily life and the issues and challenges that are here for you to work on. Which, by the way, are a gift, right? And this bigger spiritual picture reminds us that even the everyday things that worry us, that bother us, that cause stress, you know, they can be a gift when we recognize it's just there to help us grow, to help us learn more about what we're capable of, to help us expand into new possibilities and open our minds to how we might approach things that hasn't occurred to us before. So, Virgo full moon is saying, how are you going to do this? What does it look like in practice? How do you apply what you're noticing? What is it showing you about who you are? And what are the steps from here to implement a bigger picture of meaning and what feels true and right in that bigger picture? Again, we've got Mercury in Pisces and also Neptune, of course, the sun in Pisces. So those three planets in Pisces, anchoring a bigger picture and connection to all that is, to who we are when we dissolve our our unique sense of self and individuality. You know, who are we in that interconnected picture? And then we've got Saturn, which is literally just going into Pisces right after this full moon. And so really bringing a shift of groundedness, of tangible connectedness to the earth. What does it look like? What is the form? How are we going to bring it into reality? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is going to be the plan here? How are we going to do this? And so with Saturn going into Pisces and furthering these shifts that are happening in March, really just taking us into some new territory, getting out of our minds and into our ability to feel and perceive. And it's kind of like a quality of not worrying so much and trusting more, but also, steer your ship. Trust that there is a current and there is a flow and it's going to carry you where you want, but you need to be involved. And so you need to have the ability to steer and to know what it is you're tethered to, and to aim your ship and aim your life in the direction you want to go, that you have connected to through this current moon cycle and the bigger picture of Pisces energy, Neptune in Pisces moon cycle, with, of course, the Virgo full moon saying, here we are doing this in the real world through our bodies, with our ability to make a tangible difference and craft and create things in physical form, magic, manifestation, all of that. It's like how listening to, what is coming through you in terms of what you're feeling moved and motivated to work on, to act on, and to craft into that beautiful pottery, useful, beautiful item, right? Whatever that is in your life. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you are noticing on this Virgo full moon, how it is impacting you. Of course, this bigger picture of Saturn going into Pisces is huge, and that's going to be happening on March 7th with the Virgo full moon. And so we're heading into that energy right now. still already feeling the light of that full moon, and it will continue, of course, through the full moon and for a couple of days after. So let me know what you are noticing about this full moon, and I hope what I've shared is helpful for you in your process. I'd love to hear what you think. And thank you so much for being here and for subscribing. I am here every day with Daily Astro Vibe, the unshakable, the astrology of unshakable self-care. And so we're taking care of ourselves through the wisdom of the planets and the zodiac, and working with these energies every day. So check it back. I'm here with a short video every day to let you know what's going on, and hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for your likes and comments, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.